My firm is now specializing. We did work on website design for 14 years, and we're now specializing in the area of social media because we really believe that it is absolutely the future. And I've talked to a few people here already, and there's big awareness, strong awareness in the room of what social can do. And today I'm going to focus on mobile. And I think that mobile is something that's really coming along. People are starting to recognize the strength and power of mobile. And I'm going to go through a scenario of how to use mobile in your business. But I first want to ask, who here has a cell phone? Everybody? Who doesn't have a cell phone? Nobody. Who has a smartphone, a BlackBerry, an iPhone, an Android? Good. And who has a tablet, an Android tablet, a Playbook, an iPad? So not as many. But I'm assuming you all have a computer and you all have a TV. And that makes us all screenagers. Screenager was a slang term that came out a while ago. It's in the Oxford Dictionary now. And it referred to teenagers who were watching a lot of TV and spending a lot of time on their computers playing games. But it's now expanded because we're all doing a lot of work on our phones. We're texting, picking up our email, BBMing, playing Angry Birds. Anybody here play Angry Birds? I don't believe you. I think there's some secret Angry Bird. Aha, there's a secret Angry Bird person. We're all doing things with our mobile devices. Does anybody have an iPad and an iPhone, or a tablet and an iPhone? Okay, so fewer. But you're going to get there. I guarantee it. There are 7 billion people on the planet. 5.9 billion own a cell phone, and only 4.2 billion have a toothbrush. That's how important mobile is to the world. In Kenya, strangely enough, Kenya has been leading the way in purchasing using a cell phone and doing all of the banking. And they have a company there that's done so much work and research in that area that Visa has now bought it, and they're using it as the basis of bringing all of their online purchasing, on mobile purchasing. So soon you're going to be able to go and swipe your phone and it'll read your credit card and you'll make your purchases that way. Your loyalty cards will be on your phone. You already can have your boarding pass. Has anybody put a boarding pass on their mobile phone and used it to board a plane? I highly recommend it. It's super, super, super simple. You get the express check-in, bang, you're not fiddling around trying to find your boarding pass. Of the people who have mobile and tablets, 83% of them will check their social media sites while watching a sporting event on TV. 63% will be doing that while they're at a game. So they're tweeting, they're Facebooking, they're taking pictures and posting them, they're texting a friend to tell them what the score of the game is. And when Tim Tebow led the Broncos to that momentous playoff win, there were 9,400 tweets a second about that. And that beat Beyonce's baby announcement. She was just over 9,000. So put Beyonce and sports together and you've got a pretty powerful. So 84% of cell phone users, smartphone users, use it to enhance their in-aisle shopping at the store. And it's becoming known as showrooming. So what people are doing, and you may do this yourself, you're going to a Best Buy or a local shop, you're looking at a product, you want to know what the review is. I've been doing this with Tassimo and Keurig single coffee makers because I can't decide which one to buy. Keurig. I hear that a lot, but they don't do cappuccino, and that's what I like. So I can go into a store now and I can say, okay, that's a Tassimo 20 and a Tassimo 46. What's the difference? Bang, bang, bang. I'm on my phone. That's the difference. And I make a purchase. People are taking pictures of products so they can remember what they are when they go home. They can look it up online, or they can look at the photo and say, do I want that? Do I like that pair of shoes? I'm not sure about that blouse. Or they can post it on Facebook and ask their friends for their opinion. So we're all screenagers in some way. And I don't know if there's anybody who does this, watching TV and looking up something on their iPad or their phone at the same time. I never thought I would do something like that. I started during the Vancouver Olympics because I could follow speed skating, which I really enjoy, and watch skiing on TV, and I was getting live updates, like actually split times for speed skating on my phone. And that started it, and it became a little bit more of addiction and a little bit more of an addiction. Now when I watch a sporting event, like Euro Cup, I'm a big soccer fan. The Academy Awards, strongly recommended. It's way more fun to follow Twitter watching the Academy Awards or the Emmys than it is to actually watch the program, because you get to hear what people are saying about it, and people are pretty hilarious. So if you're not there yet, I guarantee you, you will be. So what does this mean for your business? What it means is that consumers now have many, many, many touch points when they're making a decision whether to purchase or not. And I'm not just talking about bricks and mortar stores. It's a service as well. And again, to use myself as an example, you're going to start to think I'm some kind of a mobile fiend. I had to buy new insurance a while ago, new car insurance, and I had some time. I was waiting, and maybe out at an appointment. So I went on my phone and I started searching out prices online. And I could fill out an online estimate, and I could, make those comparisons. I actually went home and called someone, because I still, in a situation like that, I want to talk to someone and hear them tell me what it's going to cost, what it's offering me, what my comprehensive will be, and so on. But I narrowed the list down while I was sitting there with my phone. This is a traditional purchasing cycle. You start with awareness, you move on to education, engagement, and then you take action, which is to buy. And you're going to start to bring in these social networks, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram is a photo sharing app on the phone. You can post to YouTube, check in with Foursquare, all sorts of different touch points. So awareness starts, I'm going to use shoes as an example. Awareness starts with, clearly, you need a new pair of shoes. Maybe you've seen a pair of shoes that you really, really like, and that's made you think you need a new pair of shoes. So I want to make a decision. I need a new pair of running shoes, and I can't decide whether to get a pair of Converse Chuck Taylors or go with Adidas Gazelles. So I'm going to put it out there to my friends. I'm going to text message. Well, here I text message myself, but I'm going to text message, and that's very personal. That's very one-on-one. I'm going to go to somebody I trust. Maybe it's somebody who has the shoes or a close friend, and I'm going to say, I'm thinking of getting the shoes. Should I get Chuck Taylors or Gazelles? I may be even standing in the store with one Chuck Taylor on one foot and a Gazelle on the other, trying to decide what I'm going to do. I might go to Pinterest. I searched Converse. Those are all pictures that people have posted of their Converse running shoes. Facebook, we've all done that. We've all gone out on Facebook and asked a question. Or I might tweet it. Engagement. So remember back, 10, 15 years ago when people were, I don't know if I should have a website. Are people really going to go on websites and search out information about me? And that's a given. Your business has a website. I venture to say every business here has a website, because that's where people are going to go first. People are going to search you out on the web. But they're also going to go now and look at what people are selling online. And Amazon, Zappos is a huge, huge online shoe site. Amazon, Google stores, buying books, a lot of purchasing happens online. And if you're a bricks and mortar store or you're a local service, you're competing with that all the time now. And that means that your customer service in your store has to be great. It actually has to be better than it used to be. Because part of that engagement and what drives people to a purchasing decision has to do with how they feel about the person they're buying from. So if I go to your store and you're knowledgeable, or your staff is knowledgeable, they're engaging, they pay attention to me, they understand what I want, I'm going to want to buy from you more than from Zappos. And that's still a reality. So customer service is not dead, it's very, very, very much alive. And I've made my choice to buy. I picked the Chuck Taylors. So again, when someone comes into your store, they are willing to purchase from you if your customer service is good. Most people want immediacy. They don't want to wait for Zappos to deliver their shoes. They want those shoes now. And they are willing to pay a little bit extra. So not a huge amount extra. You still have to compete with those online prices. But people are willing to pay a little bit extra to have that personal one-on-one engagement. But it doesn't stop there anymore. So now we have what's known as the loyalty loop. Action, purchased it. Now you want to enjoy it, you're going to advocate it, hopefully you bond with it. And again, apps on mobile are going to come into that. Some of these, Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest are YouTube, available on your computer, but other things like Instagram and Foursquare are only available on a smartphone. Has everybody heard of Instagram? No? It's the most popular photo sharing app out there. It's now with Facebook. That's how important and how big it is. It's great. You can take pictures. You can turn them into a 1970s view. You can make them techno-color. You can share on Facebook and you can share on Twitter instantly. So you probably see people out there. I have the iPhone 4GS. The pictures that my phone takes are as good as your average, sort of your baseline digital camera now. So I take most of my photographs with my phone. I don't even worry about carrying a camera anymore. Enjoyment. People are going to take pictures of their product if they really like them. And they might take a picture of you actually wearing the shoes in the store, or you're going to take a video of you walking down the street. And I know it sounds crazy and it sounds silly, but this is the reality. That's what people are doing. They're sharing their enjoyment. So I bought my Chuck Taylors. I'm going to go home. I'm going to post a picture on Facebook. Yay, thank you. I got my Chuck Taylors and I love them. When I went to get my new, I put my old iPhone on my car and drove away, and I got to Tim Hortons and I realized when the girl looked out and didn't say to me, your phone's on the roof of your car, that it was gone and I'd run over it. So I had to get a new phone and I had to get it right away, and I didn't know whether to get white or black. And so actually my partner Robin put it out on Facebook, should Janice get white or black? And the responses came piling in. And I went with white, and then I got home and I worried about whether I'd made the right decision about my phone. Right? Well, you do that with stuff you buy, right? I might do that with my Keurig and then think, oh, I wish I had a Tassimo because I feel like a cappuccino. So I said, not sure I like my white phone. Maybe I should have gotten black. Then I got advice on I could get a black case, right? I could turn my white phone into a black phone. It was a little bit of fun. It was enjoyable, a little humor in the evening. When people are going to move to advocate, and this is where you want people to be with your business and the products that they're buying with their business. And advocating is keeping up that connection, right? So we're talking about maintaining the connection through the post-purchase cycle so that they come back and buy from you again. So advocating might be liking your Facebook page. It might be, posting a YouTube video of you doing something with the product. So encourage people. People are always saying to me, how do I get people to participate on my Facebook page? How do I get people to engage with me? Ask them. When you sell people the Chuck Taylors, say to them, hey, if you have any funny pictures of you, or if you take a video, or post it on our Facebook page, because we're collecting those. Right? And that's what Converse does. If you go to Converse, they actually have a Chuck Taylor page. There are fan pages out there that have been created by Chuck Taylor aficionados. And you'll see that they've got tons and tons of fun videos of people with their Chuck Taylors. A long time ago, I was kind of searching around on YouTube, and I found a video that I believe Converse actually shot itself. And it was a young girl in her kitchen showing people how to lace up their high tops and wear them with skinny jeans. And it was just her, and she talked about why she chose the shoes to wear with the particular outfit. And it had millions of views, millions. Like we all have just tons of time, obviously, in our lives. So just ask people, encourage them, have a photo contest, and get people involved that way and keep them involved. And then you've bonded. And we're right back to need. And I need a new pair of shoes. And I'm going to go back to the place I got my first pair of shoes, my first pair of Chuck Taylors, because that bonding has continued and because the business has kept in touch with me through their website, yes, absolutely, but through mobile. More than half of the people, I think this stat is actually over 60% now of people are connecting with Facebook, Twitter, YouTube through their phone. So more than they're actually doing it through their computer. Text messaging is still huge. So you can take advantage of text messaging. Does everybody know what a QR code is? You've seen them, they're the square code. It looks a little bit like a barcode. So, and that's an app, and I can scan it with my phone. So I have a horse, and I go to the riding store in Beamsville, Greenhawk. And they've now put QR codes on some of their products, and when I scan it, it will take me to a video that shows me how to use that product. So I don't have to go to a salesperson necessarily and say, can you show me how to do it? And maybe they're busy. I can scan it. Then that stays in my phone, and when I get home, I can look at it again. So it's pretty powerful stuff. And you can do QR codes for free. So they're absolutely wonderful. Now these all apply if you're, like I said, a bricks and mortar store selling products, if you're a service, if you're an event. So when you're putting on your United Way event, make sure you're encouraging people there to take photos and videos and post them to, whether it's to your business page or if you have a special page for the event. People love to share, and that's what people are doing now. So how do you make your business mobile ready? These are some of the basic points. Check your website on a mobile device to see how it looks. If you don't have a smartphone, then I really recommend when your contract comes up again to get a smartphone. So if you want to stick with BlackBerry, then get their, I'm not sure what they're calling it now, but the full screen BlackBerry with touchpad. Get an iPhone or get an Android, Google Android phone, so that might be HTC, Samsung. But definitely have a phone so that you can be checking and downloading apps, even if you don't use them yourself. Download them, check them out, try and think through how people might use them and how you might be able to connect with people through that app and your business. Make sure you've completed your Google listing. So go on Google and your address is there, your phone number. On my phone, if I go and I look up your business, your phone number comes up, all I do is tap it and it dials it for me. So critical that you have your Google listing. It opens up a Google map, I tap on the map, it opens up the Google map, and then I can get there. So that's the immediacy, right? If I go and I Google you, I can phone you and I can get the map and I can drive right there. And there's the other person, and I can't do that with their business, guess where I'm going to go? I'm going to go to you. And also, you want people to be able to search. If you search now, you probably see that usually the information about the business location comes up near the top, the sort of online yellow pages. As well, Google, which owns YouTube, will put a higher ranking on YouTube, even though they say they won't. So if you have something that you can make videos of, then do that. They don't have to be high production. Just get a YouTube channel going and start getting some video up there. The more places you are in social, the higher you're going to come out on the search engine rankings. Make sure that your staff knows how your customers can connect with you online and promote that. It's not good enough to just put up a little sign that says, find us on Facebook. Now you've got to say, find us on Facebook, and here's why. Here's what you're going to get if you find us on Facebook. Maybe you're going to get a sale. Maybe only the people who have liked the page will be able to benefit from that sale. Maybe you're just going to get some great information. If I go back to Chuck Taylor, you're going to tell me, hey, we've got a new Chuck Taylor style out. It's brand new. Just come out. Maybe you want to come in and look at it. If I don't want to see it then, it's in my mind. And what's also in my mind is that you keep your products updated. And encourage your customers to follow you and share photos of their purchase and talk about it with their friends. When was the last time that you asked someone's opinion and they said, I'm sorry, I don't want to help you with that. You're on your own. I'm not going to give you my opinion. That never happens. Everybody wants to give you, everybody wants to say, how long did it take you to jump up and yell, Keurig, right? Everybody wants to do that. This is a beautiful screen of butterflies. Imagine that I'm holding my phone in front of that and I'm seeing those butterflies fly around on my phone. And I can tap on one of those butterflies and a message that comes up that says 20% off on Chuck Taylor's at XYZ store. Imagine. At the boot shop. I love the boot shop. Boot shop is a great example of a local store that's competing with big box stores. And electronic stores are a great example of stores that are competing with big box stores. But that is actually a reality in Japan right now. So Sony has developed that virtual reality, augmented reality technology, and they're testing it in Japan. So it's not too far away from being worldwide. And that is going to be really cool. So honestly, get in mobile now and learn about it. Ask lots of questions. Go out on your Facebook page and ask people how they're using mobile. And start to think in those terms because we're moving well beyond websites. Websites may even become completely obsolete. They will be the last place that someone goes to find out their information. So I'm going to take some questions now, if anybody has questions.
Who is Chuck Taylor?
Chuck Taylor is a basketball player. Chuck Taylor is Converse most popular shoe.
I'm not a basketball fan, so
We're talking 40, 50 years ago. But they are one of the most popular shoes. And actually, with that Instagram photo, when I did the screenshot yesterday, 418,000 people had posted on Instagram a photo of a Chuck Taylor. This morning, it was 422,000. So that's how fast it grows. The question is, should a professional services company that has a customer base, a demographic of 40 and 50-year-olds, think about mobile in targeting that audience? And absolutely, the number of 40-plus people with smartphones is growing so fast. Think about actually who has the money to buy a smartphone. So that's the over 30, probably over 35 crowd. There are 20 million cell phones mobile phones in Canada, and 8 million of those are smartphones. And I think we're maybe, 5, 6 years away from not being able to get a flip phone anymore that you dial. So those people are definitely using mobile. And when you're saying they ask their friend for referral, well, now they're going to mobile and they're asking their friends. They're going on Facebook and they're asking their friends. A lot of professional people are on Twitter because it's a great business intelligence tool. They're not sharing on Twitter what they're eating for lunch or, hey, I'm on the golf course. They're sharing and they're on there to share more professional type information. So the demographic on Twitter is actually more business professionals than it is kids and people fooling around on Facebook. So the answer is yes. So the question is, what happens if you have an intangible product? People are still comparison shopping, and people are comparison shopping online. And I use the example of me buying car insurance. And people are, so, when you're out and you think, oh, when I get home, I have to go on the computer and look up for a new accountant, or I need to find out some financial advisor information, or I need to buy insurance. I've got to do that when I get home. And then you get home and the kids are there, your favorite TV show is on, there's a sporting event, you're tired and you forget. And the next day you say to yourself, oh, I have to remember when I get home I need to look up this information. Well, now you can do it instantly. When when you think of it, and you're having a coffee or you're out for lunch by yourself, you're sitting in a park, maybe you're at the golf course and you're waiting to tee off at a hole and there's a big lineup. That's the time when you've got the immediacy and you've got the instant factor that you can go online and search out that information, because your phone is just a mini computer. That's all it is a mini computer. So there are two questions. One is, how much of your advertising budget should go to social media and mobile, and how do you get on Twitter and get rolling in that area? I can't answer the question really about your advertising budget and without having a lot of detail about what your budget is, who your market is, what it is that you're advertising. But I will say that one of the questions is, what's the ROI of social? And people think there's no ROI of social. So I think, well, what's the ROI of a billboard? You know how many cars might drive past a billboard, but you know how many people actually act on that billboard. So what you're getting is that repeat, right? I'm driving the same route to work every day, and I'm passing the same billboard, and I'm seeing it again and again and again. So hopefully when I want that service, or I want that product, or I'm going to an event, that will be the first thing that comes to mind. Social is exactly the same. You keep front of mind using your Facebook page, your Twitter account, YouTube. Email blasting, absolutely. I didn't talk about email, but email is absolutely still a valid way of reaching customers. And with Twitter, what you want to do is set up a Twitter account and just follow people. Follow people that are of interest to you in business. Follow your competitors and see what they're talking about. Follow industry leaders, follow knowledge leaders, and just see what people are tweeting about. You don't have to tweet yourself. You can follow anybody. It's not like Facebook. You don't have to put out a friend request. You can follow anybody, and anybody can follow you. So I always say, just watch it for a while, get comfortable. When you feel a little comfortable, try your first tweet. And when you see your first retweet, you're going to be thrilled. It's a very thrilling feeling that somebody actually was interested in what you had to say. The question is, what do you do if you have, with the immediacy, and you have employees who are constantly accessing their email and their social networks, and it's taking their mind off the job?
If I can change that a little bit, I'm also concerned with the social media, how it's affecting our concentration to do valid tasks.
Okay. One is that the very first thing I would do is I would start with a policy for your business on proper use of accessing social media at work. It's not recommended at all that you ban people from using and accessing, say, their Facebook page at work, because studies are coming out that employees can be more productive if they're allowed to do that. Now, having their computer ping every 2.5 seconds because they've got a lot of friends and followers on Twitter or on Facebook is not really an acceptable behavior at work. And so I think as an employer, you're right to be able to say enough. I believe that the ability that people have now to multitask and have many, many, many things happening in their brain at one time is actually, as the younger generation comes along, and this is natural to them, it's just they've never known any difference, that they'll actually be more productive at work because they'll be able to take on multitasks and accomplish them at the same time. So our brains are almost becoming like a computer where you have 4 windows open and all of these things are going on. And so when you see someone texting and you're talking to them and you think they're not listening to you, it's actually often not the case. They're able to text with one part of their brain and listen to what you're saying with their other part of their brain. And at a certain age group, and I'm one of them, it's hard to understand because we didn't grow up with that. We grew up with books and a piece of paper and picking up the telephone and calling people. But I believe that these devices are making us more productive, more creative in our thinking, and our ability to reach out and connect with people is going to make that in-person engagement better. Yes, so the question is, what does my company do in terms of social? What we do is, there are various levels. So the very first thing we would do is come in and look at what social media you have going or whether you have any at all. We would look at what your business is, what your demographic is for your client, and where the best channels are for you to reach out. So it may be YouTube, may not be at all. You may not have a service, for example. YouTube may not be the first place you go. I think everybody should have a Facebook page. I think that's a given now with 900 million people on Facebook. But the number one thing is, how much time do you have? And we're all small businesses. Most of us are small businesses, and time is a huge factor. So how much time do you have? So before we do a strategy, we figure out how much time you have. Then you say, okay, here are the best places for you to be on social. We develop a strategy that outlines what you can be posting on social, how often, how to reach out to your customers, where they are, and then it can stop there, or we can help you execute it. And we also do measurement. It's very important to measure. Lots of tools online where you can measure what your engagement is to find out what's working. So you may be measuring your engagement, and all of a sudden you find out, holy crow, there are a lot of people on Pinterest posting stuff about my product. I better put some of my eggs in that basket.
Thank you, Janice. That was very informative.
Thank you very much.
Anybody who has any more questions that they'd like to ask Janice, I'm sure she will answer them after
Yeah, absolutely.
the meeting.